If every human being vanished from Earth today, the story of what happens next is not science fiction. It is a documented scientific projection, built from the work of engineers, ecologists, and geologists who study exactly how the built world fails once the hands that built it are gone. This is that timeline. The first hours are the quietest. Traffic lights keep cycling to empty streets until the power grid, unbalanced without operators, begins to fail. In cities built below sea level, the silence is immediate. Beneath New York, more than 700 pumps fight a constant flood of groundwater. Within 36 hours of the last pump switching off, the subway tunnels begin to fill with water. Within days, nuclear power plants face their own crisis. Engineers who study plant safety note that without staff to manage cooling systems, spent fuel pools can boil dry in a matter of days, exposing the fuel rods inside. It is one of the few events on this timeline that could scar the landscape for generations, though studies of the exclusion zones around Chernobyl suggest that within roughly a century and a half, forests begin to dominate the land regardless. Within 2 years, untended streets begin to crack as freeze and thaw cycles work into the pavement with no maintenance crews to repair them. By 4 years, structural engineers estimate that the first buildings begin to crumble as water finds its way through failed roofing and joints. By 5 years, fires ignite in abandoned structures with nothing and no one to stop them. By 50 years, corrosion has taken hold of the steel cables that hold up the great suspension bridges. The Brooklyn Bridge, engineers' project, would show serious structural strain within this window, its steel slowly surrendering to rust after more than a century of maintenance kept it standing. Between 100 and 300 years, most steel skyscrapers corrode through their support structures and collapse. Suburbs disappear beneath forest, their foundations cracked apart by root systems with nothing to stop them. Concrete, exposed to freezing water and expanding ice, fractures apart from the inside. At around 1,000 years, most traces of the modern built world above ground have gone quiet, folded back into forest, grassland, or coastline. But a small number of structures built to withstand the scale of nature itself keep standing. At 10,000 years, the Hoover Dam is projected by engineers to be among the very last of these survivors, having weathered a millennium of storms and earthquakes before a final seismic event brings it down. Its silt-filled reservoir would, by then, have already reverted to a wild, free-flowing river. Far longer than any dam, Mount Rushmore endures. Carved from solid granite in a geologically stable range, geologists estimate its 4 faces could remain recognizable for 100,000 years or more, worn only by wind and rain. Beyond that horizon, the story is no longer about buildings. It becomes a story written in rock. Some geologists now argue that the industrial age has left a permanent signature in Earth's strata, a thin layer of plastic, concrete, and altered chemistry that future observers, whatever or whoever they might be, could still read millions of years from now. And far beyond Earth itself, the radio and television signals broadcast during the 20th century continue outward through space, a faint, expanding sphere of human noise that will likely outlast every wall, road, and monument we ever built. Nature does not erase us out of malice. It simply continues, indifferent, patient, and thorough, reclaiming everything we assumed was permanent. Given enough time, an empty planet quietly proves that permanence was never really ours to claim. What we leave behind may not be our cities or our names. It may simply be a thin, quiet line in the rock, the only signature that time could not fully erase.